Mike Owens here, joined today by Beneil Dariush, who's in Manchester, cornering Giga Chikadze at the UFC 304. Beneil, always a pleasure, my man. How things are you today?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Things are good today. It's a little bit late, but for us it feels like morning time.
This is morning time for Beneil, and it's around about midnight in Manchester time. How are you coping with the change of schedule? Because obviously it's a lot for the fighters, but also a lot for the cornermen and coaches.
We just got here, so it's not too bad for us. If I had to stay in this sort of rhythm for a long time, I think it would be difficult. But because it's a short term, it shouldn't be too bad. But I honestly feel bad for the guys who live here who have to change their time.
What do you think would be, this is a very strange question, but what do you think would be the worst time to fight another, world class fighter?
I don't know if you can get worse than 3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m. is right about the sweet spot, isn't it?
Yeah, which is when Giga's fighting, by the way.
Yeah. How do you see the fight playing out?
It's going to be an interesting fight. I think the one who understands distance the best will have the advantage. Obviously, I can't give too much away, but I believe the Arnold's team would definitely incorporate takedowns, and their focus would be to close the distance on Giga. So I think that's their goal, and we have specific things to deal with all these situations. So we'll see how the fight goes. If they say no, we just want to have a stand-up war, I mean that's music to our ears, basically.
I have to ask you about the lightweight featured fight on the card. Obviously, getting your thoughts on the fight in your division between Paddy Pimblett and Bobby Green. I think I saw something from Paddy Pimblett. There was like a hit list of how he wants to get to the title, and I think it was Bobby Green, Renato Moicano, yourself. How do you reflect on that first and foremost, and how do you see?
I didn't know that. I've been seeing him all week. I saw him the last 2 days. I didn't know he mentioned my name, but that's fine, man. If he beats Bobby Green, King Green.
Excuse me.
King Green. If he beats King, he's obviously going to be moved up. I always want to fight the best guys in the world, and if he's going to continue to win, he's proving himself to be one of the best guys in the world. So that being said, if he has to go through Moicano to fight me, okay, but if he doesn't, if that's the fight they present to me, I'm not one to say no to fight, so it would be a pleasure to fight him.
What's the fight in the 155-pound division currently booked that you're most excited for? We've got Moicano versus BSD in Paris. It feels like Islam versus Arman's going to be next.
It's hard to outside of Arman and Makhachev is that's really the fight I'm looking most forward to. But it'll be interesting to see Benoit Saint-Denis and how him and Moicano do, because he looked like a world beater, Benoit. And when he was fighting Poirier in the first round, he looked incredible. I'm really interested to see how he'll look this fight. Whether the fight goes, 1 round or a couple of rounds. I would like to see it go longer, obviously, to get a better understanding of him. But he looked special in that first round. Like he did what I thought his first round looked so dominant. It was better than Makhachev's round against Poirier. So a very special opportunity to see what he will look like. So I'm looking forward to that fight for sure. There's a lot of cool fights. Matus with Dan Hooker. That's a fight I want to see. Is Charles Oliveira booked yet?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, he's a guy I would like to see fight as well. He's a great fighter. So these guys are all the guys I look out for. And there's a lot of guys coming up that I have to keep an eye on. Oh, another guy I think in the future will be very good is Guram. That's the one. I'm glad you said his last name and not me, but I think he's going to be incredible.
Arman still hasn't done his apology video, his anti-bullying video. Is that something you could help him out with? I mean, I know that you're very much, a good figure in the community. You're known as one of the nicest guys on the UFC roster. Maybe you could give Arman some tips.
I don't think he was wrong. I'm being honest. I don't think he was in such a terrible place. A guy was emotional and attacked him. The other guy apologized, so he admits that he was wrong. That being said, it's like, why does Arman have to apologize for something he didn't do wrong? So I got no advice for him. It's hard for me to tell somebody to apologize when they're not wrong.
Have you ever had a situation like that? I mean, that's obviously an extreme, but I imagine you fought all around the world. Have you ever had a situation like that where a fan or somebody has come up to you and say something, and I know that you're not the type to react in that way, but that has maybe crossed your mind, let's say?
Not really. Like social media, you'll get guys who like jabber a lot, but not really in person. In person, most people are very nice.
Yeah.
But as far as apologizing and being nice in situations like this, obviously I'm married, so I have a lot of experience with that. We fight all the time, so
I didn't know what you meant then.
Yeah, we fight all the time, and yeah. Even then, I don't apologize. So actually, I got no advice for him. I'm the worst when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah.
I love it. So in an ideal world, I know that we spoke in probably April, May time, if memory serves.
Yeah.
I think it was early May. I know you said you're coming off about the injury, so the last fight as well. So when is an ideal timeline to see you back?
I've been going to the doctor, and we're trying to basically decide surgery or not. I personally would not want to do a surgery, so I'm really hoping in the next couple of weeks we're getting another MRI, getting better imaging and things like that. In the next couple of weeks, I could just tell the UFC, hey, I'm ready to go. Give me a fight, please. Because I mean, bro, all I do is train. Even here, I help Giga, do his thing, and then I'm like, hey, so and so, you want to train? So and so, you want to train? I don't really do much besides that. And now I'm here without my kids. I got a lot more energy, so I need more people to beat up.
Last question from me, and I want to end on this because this is the first point of conversation that we had when we first spoke. How's the charity work getting on? Because I know that's a cause very close to your heart.
It's been really difficult, man. With Haiti going through what some would call a civil war, they call it unrest, but it feels like a civil war. It's been really tricky to be able to. So one, it's more difficult now to get stuff in. For example, we would send aid and medical stuff. We would send food. Things like this. It's become more difficult. If you have someone, for example, who has a car, let's say who has a big bus that takes 20 kids around, he's immediately a target. He's going to get robbed, which is what happened to some of our caretakers. So it's been really interesting having to navigate basically through a war, and we're what you would call easy targets. So what we've had to do is change our tactics, but it's been cool. I plan on visiting other places too. I have some ideas about Uganda and things like that. So everything's one step at a time. So right now, figure out details with Haiti. Hopefully, end of the year, I can do a trip to Uganda. But that's the plan so far.
Sounds like you've got a lot going on as well as rehab and trying to get back in the octagon, Beneil.
Yeah, I mean that's normal because rehab's almost like training. How hard the harder you go in rehab, the faster you recover. And so I've been pushing rehab really hard. It's so difficult. It actually takes a practice away from me. I leave that place, drenched, and most of the people around me stare at me like I'm a madman. But that's how you should do rehab. You should,
you're right.
Every single time you go in there, it's to get better. And so, with that being said, the schedule's booked, but hopefully that allows me to fight in the year or earlier.
And when the timing's right, I know you're not the type to call out a name, but who do you feel like would make sense, let's say? Who do you feel like when you look at the rankings would be a realistic next fight for you that you would be happy with?
Man, guys like Dan Hooker, they looked like he called me out, Moicano called me out. These are great fights. They're top 10. Ideally right now, anyone in the top 10. I know Benoit and Denise also mentioned my name. Unfortunately, they're all booked. So someone that's not booked, that's top 10, top 5 would be great to just get back in there. I don't really want what you would call easy fights or on paper easy fights. I'd like to fight the best guys in the world, and I've always done that.
100%, Beneil. Well, it was really great to catch up with you today. I know we caught up over Zoom, but it's always better to get these
in person is a little different,
100%. Maybe I could come out to California one time. We could do it in
Welcome,
Kings.
bro. Yeah, welcome. I got a gym in Anaheim. It's a pretty big gym. Everybody's welcome there. I teach, I train, we do it all. We'll do interviews as well.
As long as Giga doesn't hit me with the Giga kick, then I'm happy.
No promises. He won't unless you sign up for a class. If you sign up for a class and he's there, can't promise anything.
That's true, so maybe I won't come. Anyway, Beneil, thank you so much for your time and best of luck for Saturday night.
Thank you, brother.